Hello, my name is John Turner. I am the Manager of Community Development and Research at the Nebraska Investment Finance Authority. The Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, also known as the CARES Act, is a $2.2 trillion economic stimulus bill passed by Congress and signed into law by President Trump on March 27, 2020, in response to the economic fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. NIFA is conducting interviews with Nebraska agencies who are the recipients of this funding and providing housing resources. Some programs are required to allocate all funding by December 30th, 2020, while others have 2 years to allocate funds. Understanding the timing of this funding and the numerous people in Nebraska that need help, NIFA wants to share these valuable resources via our social media platforms. So today we are joined by Brittany Parker, Housing Project Director at the Women's Center for Advancement. She's here to talk about a new program that provides housing for victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, and human trafficking. So welcome, Brittany, and thanks for taking the time today to talk to us.
Thanks for having me.
So I think if you could just start and kind of educate us a little bit about what the Women's Center for Advancement does.
Yeah, the Women's Center for Advancement saves hundreds of lives each year. We are the go-to place for anyone in the Omaha area who is experiencing domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, or human trafficking. Our free, high-quality services address our clients' immediate safety needs and help them to grow into an independence over time. The WCA assures that no victim will ever walk alone in their journey. We also provide education for the community at large to raise awareness about the issues of power and control and strengthen support for victims and make the Omaha Metro a safer place overall. With that being said, a lot of our survivors come to the WCA and have a lot of barriers to accomplish their goal of self-sufficiency, to be out of an unsafe environment and for them to thrive within the Omaha community. So we just provide a host of services and resources. We have a legal department that helps with family law, that would assist with custody and divorce. We have counseling that provides crisis counseling, so addressing those immediate emotional support services. We also have our Indigo program that helps with victims of trafficking, so just kind of aiding them. We also have a self-sufficiency case management department that would help them navigate resources and tools in 18 different areas of their life. So we really have a unique program here that we can address most of the needs of our survivors who we serve.
Excellent, lots of great resources. And so, then I guess the next question is, how has CARES expanded all those great things that you already provide?
So with that being said, there is a lot of resources that our survivors need. It's a very unique situation, and they need a lot of support. So for lack of better terms, we need to fund that, right? They need a lot of financial assistance. It takes, and it needs to go quickly to get someone into a safe environment. So if we need to, housing was a huge barrier that we struggled with within our agency, because if you're thinking about it, the biggest thing people say is, why won't you just leave? You know, why don't you just leave that situation? But there's a lot of factors to it. If someone doesn't have the finances, thinking about moving, just yourself as an individual, there's a lot of moving parts to that. Now, speed it up. You have to move within a week. That gets a lot more difficult to do. So we needed the funds to help support these efforts We need to get survivors out of an unsafe situation, sometimes like same day. So if we were able to receive these funds, so now financial is no longer a burden or a barrier for our clients. We have the funds. Let's get you moved. Let's pay that first month's rent. Let's pay the deposit. Let's pay off evictions. Let's help pay get you out of those leases. Things that keep people in unsafe situations we can now resolve quickly.
That's great. And the money that you got, do you remember if it's funding through it's supposed to be spent by the end of December, or do you have a little bit more time with it?
We do have a little bit more time.
Okay.
We do need to, and that's what I've been doing heavily, is developing our program. So the expectations that we would have the development by the end of the year, so we can kick off our launch date fairly soon, once we have the funds and receive the funds.
Okay. All right. And so you're probably working, do you already have some landlord relationships you've built at this point, or is that something you still are trying to do so you have those units for people?
Yeah, so I am still building that relationship. We want good landlords. We don't want to just house them in places that are inhabitable or not up to my standard personally. If I wouldn't live there, I wouldn't put a family there. So we are in need of really good landlords that want to form a partnership. We're going to make sure that you receive your rent, and you'll be doing a great deed in servicing the community, making sure that we meet these needs for the people that are needing adequate housing.
Yeah, that's great. And so, and you know, that's a good point to bring up. It's not just about a roof over their head. It's a safe place
Mhm.
to live. And the fact that you're going to be connected, or the agency is going to be connected to the landlord, um, that seems to be what most landlords want. A lot of landlords, they want the rent paid. They want a tenant that's going to take care of the place, but they also like to have someone to call if they don't know what to do. And so, yeah, excited to see this really roll out.
The great thing about when you receive the funds, you have to agree to a case management component, meaning that you won't just house that family and say, okay, we did our part, good luck. No, we are staying with these families long term. They could be on our program as long as 24 months. So we're really working with that family to make sure they're self-sufficient and to make sure that all of their needs are met and that they don't re-enter homelessness. That is our goal. So that's almost music to a landlord's ears, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna receive my rent on time, and there's another agency that's kind of helping making sure that like the property is being taken care of, and that essentially I have a good tenant, right? So we want the WCA wants to let everyone know in the community that the clients that we serve, um, domestic violence, sexual assault, harassing, and stalking is a community-wide problem, right?
Yeah.
It affects everyone, if you know it or not. So we don't want to be the only one in this effort. We have to work together to stop and eliminate this abuse.
And it's so this recording is being done on October 21st, and October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So
Yes.
we had a conference or a webinar last week on domestic violence, and I was telling Brittany before that we're having one on human trafficking. So we also are trying to get the word out, and we appreciate experts like yourself that can be the sounding board and really get the word out there. Because like you said, it's a community issue. It's not just something social workers and should be worried about.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let me think, is there, so we talked about landlords. Oh, I forgot to ask on camera here, how many people do you hope to serve with this funding?
Yeah, so with this particular funding, we would like to serve 14, up to 14 individuals or families. And mind you, we have a plan to fundraise and to receive like unrestricted funds so we can really develop our housing program because like I said before, our population that we serve has a lot of unique needs. So we just want to make sure that we're being intentional in providing trauma-informed care to all of our clients. So we just want to make sure this is just a start of what will be an amazing housing program for the years to come.
Great, and that's what agencies and funders like to hear, is that you have the nest egg and you want to just expand, and having those relationships and that community buy-in. And I already know you're connected to Omaha Resources because the city of Omaha was who recommended that we do this interview. And we're familiar with the metro area continuum of care for the homeless. So you guys, Omaha's got a lot of great partnerships. Yeah, well, NIFA is excited to promote this and get the word out. Would you like to tell us the website or any information that people could look up online?
Yeah, if you are experiencing or know anyone that's experiencing domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, or has faced human trafficking, please reach out to the Women's Center for Advancement. You can find us at wcaomaha.org. There, if you just have a question, you're not sure, you need some education, we reach out to us. We will provide anything that you're needing. And we also have a 24/7 hotline that you can call. You can find that number online as well.
Okay,